Hi everyone. Now usually I don't do this. I don't make a habit of playing R. Kelly tunes. I don't really have any say in the matter though because it's song one of CD one or disc one of Now. That's what I call music 55. Hello everybody, how are you doing? Okay, it's a summer release, this one. Comes from July 2003. I've noticed actually on the colour scheme, a lot of the nows that came out in the summer have got a kind of orangey yellow tint to them. How are you all doing anyway? I had a day off yesterday. I know, I'm slacking. I do every now and then, just kind of recharge your batteries, come back at it afresh. So here we are for the 55th time, and we're closing in on the 104 that have been made so far. Just waiting for the 105th. If it comes out as normal, who knows in these days. We kicked this one off with an R. Kelly tune, so yep, there we go. Not too bad, just obviously rather tainted because of all the stuff that came out about him. This song is older than his girlfriend's. Some people say I shouldn't really laughed. Judge, how do you plead? R. Kelly, not guilty. He peed on me too. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, there we go. That says it all, really. That's where R. Kelly's musical legacy has left, with people making pee jokes. And it did have 201 million views, so as a song it was quite popular, which makes it all the more of a tragedy, really. What happened? If he truly believes he can fly, now would be a good time to do it, says someone. Well, at least we get humour from it, albeit in a gallows way. Right, okay, we move straight along, and I don't think there's any need to really hang around here for too long, with 50 Cent. And here's one of the best hip-hop tunes of the noughties. Absolutely loads and loads and loads of hits for this one, I'd imagine. Yep, 905 million, so just one short of a billion. And yeah, absolutely one of the best hip-hop tunes of the noughties, I think. As always, if you like something, the first thing is to look at the beat and take it from there. The beat here is brilliant. I'm going to be talking a lot about beats in a rather muso way for this one because some of the songs have better and worse beats. So I want you to all listen and learn from the master. No. Right, okay, what is it I like about this beat? It's the hand clap. It's got attitude. It's ever so slightly kind of loose. It's not totally quantized. I mean, it's banging, but it's got a bit of groove to it. It's got attitude and it's got swagger. And I've not even got to the vocals and stuff yet. But when you've got such a killer groove, everything else is just going to lock into place. So this is an example of a beat done well. We'll come on to some beats that aren't done well shortly. Yeah, great stuff. And yeah, I think this is 50's first entry on one of these. I think he was one of those people who went on to invest rather heavily in IT. When the hits dried up, he just started looking at computers and stuff. Fair play. Okay, another big song. We certainly got some big hitters leading away here. And it's not the first song of this moniker, but it's probably become the most famous song with the same name. And it's two Timbers. That helps. Timberlake and Timberland. Yup, it's Crimea River. And this one, well, not quite as many as 900 million, only 300 million. But that's still a hell of a lot. If you've not watched these again, my general criteria is if it's had about 10 million, then it becomes a real pop culture classic. 20, 30 million, really, really big. When you start getting to 100 million, then you start to get to mega songs. But even 1 million for a kind of indie band would be a moderate hit. Anything less than that, and it's getting a bit forgotten. So let me give you some background on this song then. Yup, it was co-written by Justin and Timberland. We've had a few Timberland appearances on here, but I think this is the kind of thing where he's really hitting the peak of his abilities, sound-wise. Again, listen to the beats. Listen to that snare. It really doesn't sound like much of a snare that you've ever heard before, does it? I don't know how they generated it. It's certainly unique. You've got these kind of popping and clicking kind of sounds in there. And above all, like all this sort of stuff, needs a good melody, good lyrics, good vocal delivery. This has certainly got that. It's instantly recognisable. You can sing along with it. And apparently, it was based on his relationship with Britney. So the Britney psychodrama, which we've looked at in depth, is now expanding out of just her career into the people who've come into her orbit. And it always makes good music, well, most of the time. So yeah, great stuff. Okay, how long can we keep this standard up? Next up is No Letting Go by Wayne Wonder. That's pretty good. It's maybe not up to this level. It's kind of solid R&B, really. It's popular, people still like it, and it's fairly high quality. Okay, Javine and Real Things, that's not as well known, but I think that's moving into TV territory now. Ditto Kim Marsh and Come On Over, Girls Aloud, No Good Advice. It Takes Tattoo and Not Gonna Get Us to be something I'll choose to listen to, and that's something with quite hard break beats actually. It's not dance at all. It's almost kind of I won't say gothic like Susie and the Banshees and the Damned and stuff, but it's got a kind of gothic aesthetic, and it's using break beats in that context. It sounds like they're escaping, they're on the run from somewhere, and it's as such. It's got quite a bit of momentum and energy to it, and intensity. Good stuff. Okay, we follow that up with S Club 8 now, Fall No More, not for me. I really don't know what to make of this next one. Fast Food Rockers and the Fast Food song. Have we had KFC and McDonald's and Pizza Hut mentioned in any other songs? The background behind this one is, in fact, I was talking about doggerel before, wasn't it? I said that Tim Deluxe had a bit of doggerel in it. This is more of a doggerel. A doggerel's like a silly verse, and this is in fact based on Moroccan doggerel. The actual original song, what's it called? Aram Sam Sam, and it was like a kind of Moroccan folk song, and yeah, it became a kids' chant, and then actually became a song. You can't take it seriously. I do wonder if it's got any kind of irony or satire in it whatsoever, or if it's literally just at face value. You never know with something like that. It's not quite Aqua, but equally, it's not totally hateable. I kind of give it a pass because it is so weird and different, and it's unpretentious anyway. So yeah, make mine a Royale with cheese, please. Okay, XTM and DJ Chucky. I've got a very good friend called DJ Chucky, but it's a different one. Fly on the Wings of Love. This is more kind of Scouse House stuff, and we follow that one up with Lately by Lisa Scott Lee, which is not bad actually for the X-Steps songstrel. One True Voice and Shakespeare's Way with Words. Not too bad for a TV thing. Apparently it was written by Rick Astley, who's moved into songwriting by this point. And we follow that up with some more Bhangra, more kind of Bhangra house. And it's Hassan by the Bhangra Knights. Yeah, I'm liking this kind of infusion of Asian stuff coming in now. Good stuff indeed. Now, another good club classic, and we'll get this one on. Bit of Tomcraft and Loneliness. Yeah, this is quite a classic. This was one that I played a lot DJing. Big tune. It's moved on a bit from the sort of cheesy trance stuff that's really getting tired by now. I don't know how you describe it really. It's a harder edge sort of stuff. It's hard house, I suppose, but it's not like hard house. It's house that's hard, as opposed to, quote, hard house, unquote. But yeah, it's rocking. It's banging. So good tune. Okay, is it Tiger? I think it's pronounced. Featuring Jake Shears and his version of Hot in Here. To be honest, it's not as good as the Nelly one. It's the origins of Electro House, which is kind of coming in a bit now as well. And that will really make it big over the next few years. It's not a bad version. It clubs it up a bit, but I still probably prefer the Nelly one on balance. Okay, Lisa Mafia is here with All Over. bit of a racket, really. You know, I do like kind of grime and stuff when it's good and when it's got energy. And I like Lisa Mafia. I even got the album, and it had better songs. I liked the stuff from So Solid Crew, but this one's just a bit all over the shop, really. Doesn't really hit the spot. Okay, another good club one. There's a bit of a club revival going on here now, and that's Benny Benassi and Satisfaction. And like this one, it's kind of harder-edged house without being hard house, and it's kind of bordering on electro as well. Deepest blues, a bit more bland, a bit unknown. If it was in the middle of a good set, you'd probably keep dancing to it, but it's not a song that you'd be at the bar, you'd hear it and you'd go rushing over to the dance floor. Sammy, Sunlight, it's kind of a bit of an improvement. It's still a bit of its old paradigm trance now that's increasingly long in the tooth, but it's kind of moving on a bit. Ditto, Damaged and Plummet. Now, Paul van Dyk 4 yees ago was at the top of his game with For an Angel, stuff like the Binary Finery remix, and if anything sort of epitomises the decline of trance, it's Paul van Dyk and Nothing But You. It's still, because it's Paul van Dyk, it's got production values of $1 million. He is a really, really amazing producer sonically, but it's just not the same kind of music as stuff like Binary Finery and For an Angel. It's just more commercial and more slick. It's less about club euphoria and getting people going crazy, and it's more about selling units, and it feels like it. So yeah, it's a very good emblem for the decline of trance, really. But you know, I do love Paul van Dyk. It's just I wish he was still doing the real kind of stuff that takes you up to the top of the world, instead of stuff that sounds like you'd hear it in the background at your fucking body shop or whatever. Okay, The Night by Scooter. Have we reached peak Scooter? They are repeating themselves again and again. I gave them the benefit of the doubt for the last 3 songs, but I know what I'm going to get with the Scooter song. I know that guy's going to talk gibberish. There's going to be helium vocals from some obscure late 70s song, and banging beats. And I need more. The whole thing about the manual, which was where they'd taken their inspiration, was that you do something that's different and novelty-ish. When you start repeating yourself, that's when you need to look elsewhere for ideas. Okay, now Robbie's back with Come Undone. I think I'll play this. I do play a lot of Robbie stuff, actually, don't I? It's because he does really good songs, really. Now, this is nothing to do with the Duran Duran song. And in fact, it's a song to his mum. You don't get many songs to people's mums. And it's kind of an apology for the drugs he's taken and stuff. And he's sort of saying when he comes down, she doesn't want him to see him in that state. So very heartfelt, very honest, and yeah, nice good stuff, really. Robbie, I think, shaped up to be one of my favourite singers from doing these that I didn't know I liked. That's another category, like Gabrielle. People I didn't realise I liked till I actually really reappraised all their stuff, realised how good it is. So yeah, we might do a full video on them. And let me know your thoughts as well. Was there anyone you didn't realise you liked till you rediscovered them, maybe through these videos, and it just made you reappraise how good they are? Okay, Busted, you say no. You said no. More in their kind of cut price, Basil 40 version of... Basil 40? Where did that come from? Didn't Sybil call him a cut price? Or was a cut price con artist or something? I guess what I mean is it's a sort of English version of something American. I'm thinking about Waldorf Salad episode, and Busted alert the Basil 40 to the American guy. Can English people do that kind of skate stuff, really? I don't really think Busted can, to be honest. Well, it's not even skate. It's like I say, it's just mainstream vanilla pop with a kind of veneer of punkiness. It's not that bad, but it's just not really got any edge to it. Okay, now Daniel Bedingfield's back again, and I've been saying that inside Daniel Bedingfield there's a kind of 80s pop star in the body of a kind of UK or garage kind of production. Here he forsakes all that production and he just totally straight out goes into 80s rock, really. A song that really could have come from Now 5 or Now 6, but it's not bad actually, and it works quite well, and he always gives his all in what he does. So yeah, that's pretty good. Amy Stud, I think. I prefer this much more to the one about I'm a young girl misfit. It's still a bit kind of like, oh, I'm going to make millions of money by saying how unpopular I am. But I guess people relate to it, which is kind of what pop music's about after all. And she's not the first person to sing about being a freak or a misfit or a rebel or a weirdo. It's a staple of rock music history, really. Here it is again in the 21st century. Okay, another good song now, and I believe they're Irish. I will just do my research. This is The Thrills and Big Sur. And, yeah, not Cheap Thrills, the Bellas. How did that come up? The Thrills and Big Sur. Let me tell you a bit about this one then. Okay, so we're going into the kind of more indie side of things here. It's kind of a bit quirky, as you'd expect. Reminds me a bit of Dodgy or someone like that. It's quite a bit post-Britpoppy. Although I don't think people from Dublin would like being called Britpop somehow. Irish pop? Paddy pop? Is that a word? This is Paddy pop then. Yeah, they're from a place called Black Rock. Okay, this is followed by another great song by Coldplay, one of their best yet. God Put a Smile Upon Your Face. Very catchy, great lyrics. And I know Coldplay have their haters, but I'm the staunch defender. So if you've got a problem with Coldplay, I'm going to be on their defence. No, I mean, if you can come up with a good criticism, fair enough. It's all a matter of opinion. Okay, next up is Appleton. I'm really surprised at how little listened to their stuff is. Everyone just seems to ignore it. It's not that bad, and it's probably better than half the X-Spice stuff. But it's just not really resonated, and no one really listens to everything eventually. It's not bad. Okay, David Snedden, I believe that's more TV stuff. Ronan Keating, still going with Long Goodbye. Darius, incredible. What I meant to say, don't need to say a lot about any of them. Okay, Feeder are back with Just the Way I'm Feeling. Might play this one. It's a good song. Yep, this is their first appearance since I think Buck Rogers. And yep, it continues the sort of Feeder sound. Let's get it on. I've adapted my YouTube style now. I have two windows open and I alternate. Shame it took me 15 hours to get into doing it, but there we go. Okay, now, Sinead Quinn. I didn't really like the one before, but What You Need is surprisingly good, actually. It's quite rocky and it's got a good keyboard sound on it, so I'll give that one a free pass. On the Horizon, Mel C, and that's followed by Emma Bunton, but they just call it Emma here. Definitely Mel C's got the edge of the two. Better song, better vocals. Emma's stuff is so drippy. It's like a tap, a dripping tap. It's drippier than a dripping tap. Mel C at least has some personality, and she's got a good set of pipes. She can be a bit bland, but it's not too bad. S Club, as opposed to S Club 8, I'm really innumerate when it comes to the maths of S Club. The mathematics of S Club. Say Goodbye. Okay, Sugababes, and if not maths, trigonometry what's it called, with angles and stuff. Shape. Yep. Now this one has got a very plastic beat again. There's something wrong with the Sugababes beats at this point. They're not enjoyable. They're not interesting. They don't resonate. They don't have a groove. They're very dry. And if you compare the snare drum, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but I think it's interesting, and I am interested in people's thoughts. If you compare the snare drum on Shape with the snare drum on, say, Cry Me a River or Into Club, you can hear the difference. Shape is just like, it's almost like a preset. The drum pattern just goes over and over and over. It's kind of bogus plastic funk. It's not got any sweat or any kind of attitude or swagger in the way that Into Club did. It's not a bad song, but I do wish the Sugababes had better drum programming, or even a better drummer, a real drummer. I don't think anyone else is remotely bothered, but it's the kind of thing I go on about. Anyway, okay. Now we've got a few more fairly decent ones. We've got Jay-Z and Excuse Me Miss. Well, actually, that's alright. Mariah Carey featuring Hamrod is... I think it's unbelievably the first Mariah Carey tune on one of these. I can't believe it's taken 55 because she's been around since the early 90s. Time-wise, I think she would have first appeared on Now 18 even. But it's taken till this one. Boy, I Need You featuring Cameron. Not David Cameron. I don't know, I'm never really going to be big on Mariah Carey. If you like her, fair play. And finally, Mesmerised by Ja Rule and Ashanti. It's more of a kind of foghorn Ja Rule stuff. Not too bad. Ashanti stuff is great. Ja Rule's a bit of a tosser, really, but he's okay. Eminem didn't like him, that's for sure. Had a real beef with him. Probably deservedly. So it's been quite a good volume. It's not been without its dross, but there's been some good highlights on here. And if we go through them, Inda Club, 50 Cent, definitely. Absolute. Classic. Justin Timberlake, Cry Me a River, definitely. I think Wayne Wonder, No Letting Go's not bad. I think R&B heads quite like it. It's a bit unmemorable, but it's not bad. Tattoo, Not Gonna Get Us is good. I think in a jokes way, the fast food song is worth a listen, just for novelty value. Fly on the Wings of Love's pretty good club stuff. I quite like Hassan, but I think it's very unknown. Tom Craft, Loneliness, that's good. Satisfaction, Benny Benassi. Then there's a few that are bland. Robbie Come Undone's pretty cool. And then we've got, in terms of classics, Big Sur, The Thrills, Coldplay, God Put a Smile on Your Face. Feeder's okay, but it's not really a classic. Blimey, that's about it, really. I think for the classics. So, bit short on them, but not a bad album. Fairly listenable. Only a couple of real stinkers on there. And it's getting us on ever closer to 2004 when the digital downloads start. So, tune in next time for Now 56. Thank you, everybody.